Good evening. Well, it's actually good morning. I'm so funny. 12:39. I have I have an hour until it's definitely my next day, right? Seeing that I was born at 12:41, it's that 23rd hour kind of job, the 23rd hour is that worse than the 12th hour or the 11th hour buyout? Yes, I made a mistake yesterday. I am humming over this. I'm sighing. But you see, the thing is, the Father works in interesting ways. We're learning our humility and our humanity at the same time, are we not? And astrology just helps us get there just a little further. I think it's just frustrating when you can't have a regular conversation with other people about this stuff. You have to get on YouTube to start discussing world events and really honing in on your clairvoyancy. So the problem is, I made a mistake last night, and I'm gonna blame it on me because my ruling planet on my ascendant is Mercury at 2 degrees Gemini. So I have to be honest and come forward and go down with the seeking um, the seeking ship of truth and tell you that what do I have to tell you? I punched in the wrong time. It was a keystroke, wrong problem. The keystroking was weird because of the Mercury retrograde, and I got so excited to see that 14-degree Leo on the cusp, and I didn't even double check it, right? And the fact of the matter is, the real time of the eruption, according to the article, is actually 22, and I knew this. I actually knew this. I was looking at it, just keystroking, just trying to get things done, not having any rehearsal whatsoever. And I'm just getting into reading Dane's work again. He has an interesting way of writing, and you have to really put your mind in the right frame. And maybe you shouldn't drink wine while you're actually trying to read Dane Rudyard. He is one. Have you ever read Dane's Rudyard's astrological houses, the spectrum of human experience? When I started off with Dane, I read that. I read each chapter once a day, right, for that 30-day period. And I really did learn. I really did learn. My clairvoyancy really did wake up. I really saw the houses happening. And so to get on with it, I redrew the chart, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Like the Father works in, we're here all growing together with this podcast, and the Father absolutely works in mysterious ways with this because he knew I was going to come back. He knew I was going to come back the next day and be honest and present my inconsistency because of the retrograde. So here we go, and guess what? This is so great. Look what's on the ascendant now. When we go full screen on this, look at now that I've drawn the chart with Virgo on the ascendant at 0 degrees, we have to Virgo on the ascendant at 0 degrees puts Mercury as the ruler of the chart, and it's perfect. Look at Mercury. He's at 5 degrees Capricorn, 31 minutes. 5 degrees Capricorn, 31 minutes. And look at Jupiter. The trine is like perfect with the two, but the most importantly, we have Mercury in Capricorn at 5 degrees trine the ascendant, Virgo. Yahoo! It's a true thing, right? But that's beautiful. But the thing is, this actually led me to this because I'm listening to the news. There's lots of news coming out. I can't catch up with everything. I'm looking. There's so much going down because of this Mercury retrograde and with this Jupiter in retrograde with the trine. And I'm going to bring this to the fore because it's absolutely the Father's talking to me because he's showing me all this Sagittarius heat. Yeah. Because this is December 18th. The sun's not out of Sagittarius yet for this eruption, right? So let's go back and let's look at what I have for you, right? Let's go. Here's the volcano. As I said before, it wasn't at 20. I had it marked. I even read it to you. I just didn't catch it. I was like, it's the last hour. We get right after I do this podcast. I'll be honest. I just, pile out of my clothes and I just jump in the bed and that's it. And I wake up the next morning. I don't even, when I'm uploading it, I don't even review it. So, I don't review it before I upload or anything, right? This is completely off the cuff. And it's just a regular guy like myself that has spent his entire life watching events and placing the planets to the events. It's my prayer to the Father, right? Because these people, they're calling this a holy war, and it's all about God and death to Israel and death to the United States and just death to everyone who they don't like trading in the Red Sea. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys this right now. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this Mercury retrograde, but I'm going to show you some really meat and potatoes astrology. We're not going to get too deep on the asteroids or anything, but I'm going to show you some great astrology without even having to delve too much into asteroids and what have you, and paraphernalia and stardust and what have you, and fixed stars. I'm not going to get into that. We won't even need to have to look for very much. We won't have to look that much deeper into the scene than what we have in the foreground, right? Because what we have in the foreground is this Mercury retrograde trine Jupiter in the Earth signs, while the sun's in Sagittarius, illuminating what Jupiter's doing. But the sun in Sagittarius, he's in the opposing house of Gemini, which is the first sign ruled by Mercury, and it's all about an empty Gemini house. Now let's just look at this, because this is quality work right here. And you're going to grow just like me. Okay, here's the chart I have for this, but we're not going to even look at this. What we're going to look at first is this launch of the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM, right? So this thing launched on Monday. And what is Monday? What is Monday? Monday is Moon Day, right? So this is Moon Day. And we've had this missile launch at 8:24. Now look at the Father. Look at the Father looking at, he's talking to us. It happens at about 8:24, right? 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay. And it's Monday, right? Okay, the 4 is, it's the partners, right? You got the fourth house, and then you got, but most importantly, you got the second house and the eighth house stuff, right? This whole entire global conflict is second house and eighth house stuff, right? It's like self-worth and then related self-worth, right? That's what we fight over. It's the material world. It's all Taurus and Scorpio, right? And in the middle we have the fourth house, which is home. So let's look at the chart here. Okay, this is the missile launch right here, guys. I'm not even going to kid about this. We've done this right up here. And now look at this. I've said it right. It's really 8:24. It's really Monday, right there at Pyongyang. If I'm not, I hope I didn't pronounce it wrong, but I might have. So now let's look at how the Father's absolutely talking to us through this chart, right? You're gonna love it, because look what's on the ascendant. Capricorn is on the ascendant, and there is Mercury in retrograde at like 5 degrees, and then he's trine. You can see the blue. You see the blue. Let me enlarge this so you can see this. It's perfect. It's 5 degrees, right? I mean, we look at this. Mercury is 6 degrees, 26 seconds. And man, is he moving, right? Holy cow. By the time the volcano goes off, several hours later, more than half a day later, after the volcano goes off, Mercury is going to be, at 5 degrees, right? That's how it's going to be. And then here's Jupiter right here. So he's like a minute out with the trine here, right? But this is it. This is it. Absolutely. And he's in the first house. Mercury is in the first house with the Capricorn overlap. So you got the Capricorn overlap. He's in the first account of Capricorn, so it's a Saturn influence with Mercury in retrograde with Jupiter, who is the guy that bosses Saturn around. But Saturn's not in a Saturn's actually like in a sextile. He's absolutely in this sextile with Jupiter over this whole entire thing, and this is crazy because we know that one, the United States is a Cancer, right? July 4th. That's a Cancer day, right? July 4th puts the US as a Cancer, and it has Sagittarius on the ascendant. July, 5:10 in the afternoon on July 4th. That puts Sagittarius on the ascendant, right, in Philadelphia, right? So what we have is we have a country with a Jupiter rulership, right, on the ascendant, and then a moon. But see, their one planet is retrograde right now, and Jupiter's always going to have this partnership thing going on with Mercury, right? Because they said Gemini sits across from Sagittarius, right? So because it's your hand has to pull the string, right? And then the tautness and the tension of the string is what launches the arrow. But that hand has to hold the bow. The bow itself is like Saturn, right? So when we look at the retrograde, these two are on their heels, right? Jupiter, and because it's a soft angle, right? So it's not a harsh angle. It's not somebody that has a really hard angle that is absolutely motivated and determined and driven, and they're getting all that drive because of the square, right? And then what we have to look at here is the sun is in the house of Jupiter. It's moving into the trade over period for this missile launch, right? The sun is at 20. It's not quite 26 degrees yet. It's 25:45 minutes. I'm not going to go too much into the Sabian symbols tonight. I want to show you this just with the basics, with the bare bone basics of astrology. Not to get too deep, and to make it more original, right? So we have to look at here. Venus is in the house of Scorpio, okay? She's right in the apex. She's right across from Uranus. The rocket, the ability to do this with the metal and all the technology, that's the good side, or that's the drive of the rocket. I mean, that's Uranus, right? But it's also Jupiter. I mean, the propulsion system and everything is Jupiter. To be able to go 1,000 kilometers, that's Jupiter, right? But what we have to look at here, what is so important about this chart, because we have this chart and then there's a second house here, and that second house is that Venus house, which makes us look at Venus, right? But the big thing about all of this is this beautiful little pyramid here, right? This little triangle here. And what this triangle doing? This is absolutely insane how the Father was putting this on my heart to show this tonight, because look how perfect the time is. The ascendant, I mean, this is at 8:24, right? 2 is actually, is in the middle part, right? But if you wanted to go again to the next number would be 8 again, right? But look here, and it's 2:19. I'm not gonna waste any time with the Sabian symbol. Everyone knows how to go look up a Sabian symbol. It's for free on the internet. As long as you pay your cell phone and your internet plan, you can look up Sabian symbols, right? So you can see what's at Capricorn. But we gotta know that Capricorn is the sickle. Capricorn is the harvester. Capricorn is opposed to US, right? So you got Capricorn, which is fate, and then you got the US, which is Cancer, which is mortality, right? And look at this, because we all know that Jupiter and Saturn are in the sextile together, And then here is the ruling planet of the US, which is the moon. And look at him. The moon, or look at her. The moon is at 2 degrees Pisces, right? And then Saturn is at 2 degrees. The moon is just waxing her conjunction. Like the conjunction is just coming in, right? It's not even there. It's cresting on that conjunction. It's absolutely crazy to see this and to understand that the U.S. and Saturn and the partners are hanging out with the other. Holy cow. But these two are talking about the retrogrades of these two. I mean, look at this. And then you have Jupiter retrograde as well. I mean, what is going to happen when Mercury and Jupiter practically will go retrograde on the same day? I mean, we're going to pull these charts up really quick here because this moon, I mean, where are we at now? We're not even at the square yet of this right here. Today we would be at the first quarter. So this is the first quarter, and what do we have left? We have 7 days until the full moon, right? The second quarter, the full moon. I mean, this is the high time we're looking at, and then during this point of meeting high time, to see that full moon Capricorn, which would be the culmination of everything that was happening. So we have to dig back in. This Sagittarius new moon playlist is going to make us dig all the way back to that Cancer new moon back in June, right? Or was it in July? We're going to go back there. We're going to dig up that Cancer new moon. We're going to look at those clippings. And then we're going to watch what's going to happen here, because the moon's got to cross over all these planets right here. They didn't go anywhere when she crossed over before she made that new moon. She's gonna have a full moon in one location, and she made the new moon. The new moon experience was in a different location, right? But the sequence of events were very much different when she came across these exterior planets that rule greater periods of time. Because we will be able to, as we are picking it right now, because right now the moon is traveling from her new moon experience. The moon is just got into Pisces, right? This missile went and landed in the water, right? The missile's supposed to carry a whole bunch of sickles and to cut down a whole bunch of Americans, right? That's what the missile's supposed to do, right? And once all the testing's done, and here he is, our great leader of North Korea, and he's just happy as can do. I'm going to cut down some Americans real soon, right? This is the laugh of it all. You see him on the clippings, right? Hooray! I got a super fast missile today, right? On this moon day, right? On this moon day. Okay, so moving now, let's go back in time here. We've looked at this chart. We've seen so much astrology here. It's unreal, right? This is the astrology that we don't need asteroids when it's this clear. When we're pinning the time when people place rockets in the air, and look where Jupiter is, right? Look at Sagittarius, look at the Mars, and look where the Sun is. Okay. In the 12th house, right? And remember that Sagittarius. That Sagittarius. I mean, there's Mars, the god of war, right? And then there's Ra, right? And then there's Mercury in retrograde, and the Sun is going to catch Mercury soon enough, right? As I said before, this is what's happening. Mercury is bringing all this stuff to the light. As I said before, all this stuff is culminating. We can't help but notice it. I mean, look at all the recalls and everything that are happening, and drinks and all kinds of stuff that's going on out there. Okay, so what we're going to do here is go back in time. Because it's these guys, all these countries, I mean, this is their religion, right? Now look here. We're going back in time. We're going back to, what day are we going back to? We're going back to December 3rd. Okay? 15 days ago. 16 days ago now. December 3rd. 3 commercial ships. It's 3, right? And then the Houthi attack in the Red Sea. The color is red. Red is Mars, right? these these warm colors are ruled by like these Jupiter and Mars, and as Mars is a red planet, right? And then U.S. warships, remember Mars? Mars is wars upside down, right? Wars are Mars upside down. You just turn that M, you turn that W upside down, and you got Mars, right? And the ship does look like a knife cutting through the water, right? So you got 3 drones and 3 commercial ships. Ha ha ha! Are they playing? There's that 33 thing, but is it 3 and 3, which is 6, which is that man thing? Now you're gonna love this chart. Okay, here we go, because it goes right into it. It tells you, if you scroll down here, it gets in right at the time when the attack happened, 9:15 a.m. local time. Right here at the Capitol. At 7,500 feet, not too far from World Heritage Site. But we're gonna have war. Okay, it's gonna be a war site today. So here we go. Houthi Red Sea attack. Let's look at it. Look at the time. Okay, 9:15. Okay, 9 is kind of like 6 upside down. 9 plus 1 is 10, and 10. If you want to do the numerology, 10 and 5 is 6. Okay, and then look at this. The universal time underneath here is 6. And then if you go 1 plus 5 again, that's 6 again. All right? That would be 12, which would give us 3, right? And if that was 12, that would actually be 21 backwards on the ascendant here. You see that? 21 on the, practically 3, right? And then look what's in this. Look how it works. I mean, we're in a completely different spot on the planet. Capricorn is on the ascendant. It's in the last house of Capricorn, right? Or the last of Capricorn. Capricorn, and then Taurus, and then Virgo, right? So it makes us look at that Virgo sign, right? It's an empty house. But what is the Virgo planet? The Mercury is in forward motion in the first decan. Mercury is where? It's at 153 Mercury, right? He's just over the trade over period, right? He's just done the trade over period of the sign, right? 153, 46, almost 2 degrees Mercury in Capricorn. We could look up the Sabian symbols for this, right? But the thing is, Mercury is in this trine with Jupiter, right? During this attack once again. Where is the moon? The moon is sitting in the decant of Jupiter, but he's in the crossover period of Leo, right? He's in that crossover to the second, third, that final decant of Leo, which is ruled by, because Leo, Mars. Mars, okay? So what god are you worshiping? Are you worshiping God? God is greatest? I mean, is Mars your god, right? Mars is the blade, right? I mean, as I said before, what god are you worshiping? According to the ancient texts and all the planets here. Get away, Elon. Elon keeps on stalking me. Okay, so here we go. Here we have Uranus, we have Jupiter, right? But most importantly, we have this angle to Mars conjunct the Sun on Sunday, right? This is Sunday. And let's look at this again, how this works out. I mean, this is great astrology. This is easy way. You don't have to you're taking on so much as it is casting a chart for every single event. But when you know the players, because this is actually happening on Sunday, here we are. And Capricorn is on the ascendant. So we have to look at that rising sign planet, which is Capricorn, which is Venus. Sorry, not Venus. Mercury retrograde. It is Saturn. Saturn is in the house of Venus. That's why I wanted to say that. But it's also Pisces. But then there's Neptune here as well. So you have both of these guys in here in this watery house. But this the greatest thing about understanding. It's like it's like the 300 guys. It's like Hell Gates. It's exactly what it is because what are they fighting over? Well, what were the Persians willing to let us have? What was the Persians saying to the Greeks way back in the 300 at Hell's Gates? The 300, you get it? 321. What was it? What was it all about? Earth and water. It's not fire and air. Everyone could have fire and air and just set something on fire, right? But it's earth and water. And here you have Saturn, which is the sickle. He's the harvester. And here we have Neptune, right? Here we have Neptune sitting there. The sea. The Red Sea. And she's getting ready to go. Neptune's getting ready to go in Aries, right? In the Red Sea. It's so simple. And this is all within, this is while the sun is in this. This is while the sun is in this sign of Jupiter, right? And as it once said, Jupiter is in retrograde. And this retrograde period is going to be coming over. We're going to be going through a whole bunch of charts before it gets here. But most importantly, we're going to be able to look at this stuff with Jupiter and really understand things are going to shift huge because the holiday season's here. Mercury is trine Jupiter. And they're both doing their thing. And these guys are taking action. These forward-moving planets are making the call. That's what's going on here. Is it not? And it's great because here's the moon in Leo, right? The moon is absolutely in Leo. And trine the sun, right? And Mercury. Right? This is it. So who's going to win these wars, really? Honestly, which god is it? Is Israel? Has the Father turned his back on Israel, or is the Father going to turn his back on the Iranians or the Houthis? It's all fated, right? We've been praying for this World War III forever. And now it's completely different, right? We should have seen after watching Schwarzenegger's Terminator. We should have seen it coming that World War III would all be about drones. But look, guys, I just started bringing these charts forward to you. To call it a night here. As I said, I'm getting ready. Right when I get done with this, I'll have something to drink, brush my teeth, do all those things, to preserve, my soul. And when we cast charts, we have to realize, we cast charts like this. We have to look at how beautiful it is, because the moon and Saturn, the conjunction, like you can see it here, and these are rare events, right? These events are happening, and once Pluto scurries over to Aquarius, it's going to have a whole entire different blend to it, right? Pluto rules generations of activity. Yeah, half a generation of activity. Nearly. He's not going to come out. He's not going to be out of Aquarius until 2043, right? And he is in that trade over period. And holy cow, we have to climb through the apex. We have to watch Pluto climb through the apex of Aquarius, and he's going to be there every single day, right? And we're going to be able to see it because we are so aware of this. Before he gets over to Aquarius, I'm going to be able to show you everything mapped out with the Houthis and Islam. I'm going to be able to show you absolutely everything, and tag it all to Pluto, because everything from tunnels and all this, I mean, all this kind of stuff, because war is the passageway to the underworld. Because when you're under the gun, you are absolutely done, right? Look, I'll let you go. And pray. Pray to the Divine Mother and pray to the Divine Father to deliver these warmongers everything they need to know what they do with our tax money is absolutely wrong. Cheers. All the best to you. Remember, Ra will have the last laugh, he always says. Cheers.